There is a strange phenomenon that defines modern life, a kind of cognitive colonization, quiet, invisible, mostly voluntary. Not by governments, not by religion, by something far more intimate and far less suspected, by influence. And the most interesting question isn't what influence does to behavior, it's what influence does to thought, to the very shape of a mind that no longer has the chance to think in silence.
The architecture of a managed mind. The philosopher Guy Debord wrote in 1967 that modern society had replaced lived experience with its representation. He called it the spectacle. He had no idea how right he was, or how literal it would become. Today, there exists an entire industrial infrastructure designed not to inform minds, but to occupy them. The distinction matters. An occupied mind is not a thinking mind. It is a consuming mind, endlessly processing input, endlessly reacting, never quite arriving at an original idea, because there is no gap in which originality could emerge. Influence in its contemporary form is not propaganda in the crude historical sense, it's subtler. It operates through aesthetic, through repetition, through the engineering of desire, teaching a person not what to think, but what to want to think about, what to find interesting, what to find beautiful, what to find urgent. The result is a population of minds that are extraordinarily responsive and extraordinarily unoriginal, not because the people inside them are unintelligent, but because intelligence requires friction. It requires the discomfort of an unanswered question held long enough to actually yield something. Managed minds don't get that friction, they get content.
There is a documented psychological phenomenon, uncomfortable enough that researchers named it only reluctantly, in which people, when placed in silence, prefer to give themselves mild electric shocks rather than sit alone with their thoughts. The 2014 study at the University of Virginia found that a majority of participants in an empty room with no stimulation chose pain over stillness. That isn't a quirk. That's a portrait of the modern relationship with interiority. The mind, stripped of its usual noise, does not go quiet, it goes loud, but in a different register. Old ideas surface, unresolved contradictions make themselves known. The scaffolding of borrowed opinion becomes visible for what it is. Historically, cultures built silence into their architecture of knowledge. The desert fathers of early Christianity went into the wilderness not to escape the world, but to see it clearly, because clarity, they understood, requires distance. Islamic mystical tradition has khalwa, a deliberate, structured retreat into isolation. Buddhist vipassana, the Stoic practice of negative visualization. These aren't religious curiosities. They are, in phenomenological terms, technologies for decolonizing a mind that has been colonized by its own circumstances. De-influencing is simply the contemporary name for a very old understanding, that a mind constantly fed is a mind that never learns what it actually hungers for.
When a mind does grow quiet, genuinely quiet, something philosophically interesting happens. It encounters scale. The observable universe is approximately 93 billion light-years in diameter. It contains an estimated 2 trillion galaxies. The Milky Way alone holds between 100 and 400 billion stars. The Sun, around which this planet orbits, is so average in stellar terms, but astronomers classify it as unremarkable. And on this planet, on a Tuesday, a human being is anxious about what someone thought of their post. Confronting this scale produces what philosophers call cosmic nihilism, the recognition that existence, at the level of the universe, carries no inherent narrative, no audience, no stakes. Nietzsche looked at this and declared God dead and meaning with him. Camus looked at it and called it the absurd, the
the permanent, irreconcilable tension between a human being's hunger for meaning and the universe's complete silence on the matter. But here is where the story turns strange, because the same physics that makes the universe indifferent also makes it astonishing. The elements that compose a human body, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, iron, were forged inside dying stars. Carl Sagan's phrase for this has become almost cliché, which is a shame because the fact itself never gets less extraordinary. We are literally made of star stuff. Consciousness, whatever it is, emerged from matter that has been collapsing and exploding and reorganizing for 13.8 billion years. Cosmic nihilism says, nothing matters from out there. Cosmic optimism replies, then everything that matters, matters from in here. And there is no authority above that.
The final idea. What connects these two things, the de-influenced mind and the cosmic condition, is this. Both arrive at the same philosophical territory through different routes. One travels inward, through silence and subtraction. The other travels outward, through scale and time. And both arrive at the same unsettling, liberating fact, that meaning is not delivered. It is not installed by an algorithm or inherited from a culture or purchased. It is, in the most radical sense, constructed. The Stoics had a word, hegemonikon, the ruling faculty of the mind, the thing that, if cultivated, could look at any circumstance, noise, chaos, vastness, absurdity, and remain oriented, not because the world became manageable, but because the mind became sovereign. Every age produces new forms of interference with that sovereignty. The current form happens to come in a rectangular screen, 16 hours a day, optimized by machine learning for maximum retention. The question it raises is not new. It is in fact the oldest question in the philosophical tradition. Who, or what, is doing the thinking?